Hey everybody, how's it going? This video is going to talk about our newest update, the friendly update. And the reason why we called it that as well, as you can see here, you can play with your friends now. You can play up to 4 players, whereas in the previous game, you only had the ability to play 1 versus the computer or 1 versus 1. So now we have this new edition, which we have been having a blast with. We got a great group of guys on the beta testing team, and we've been testing it all week. We've been playing it. In this game, we were the Angry Moose, right? We were the Angry Joe Show team. Shout out to them. They're the ones that brought this idea up. They said it'd be really cool to play with their friends, and we agreed. So we went ahead and jumped on it. I've been working on this thing nonstop for the past 2 weeks. And this week has been all about testing, making sure everything's working right. And we think the game's ready to go, and we wanted to share it with you. So go get it. It's out right now. But there are some things that are going to be, new that have, that changed it a little bit. So when you jump on and you're playing, just, this is what this video is for. Just kind of share with you some tips and also some things to, be prepared for. So the first thing is when you're playing, you're going to be presented with, the options of playing, like I said, 4-player, 3-player, 2-player, whatever. And the way that we did it was one player is going to control the offense, play calling, and audibles, and the other player is going to control the defensive play calling and those audibles. Anyone on the team can call timeouts, but the actual play calling and audibles are going to be controlled by one player on each side. All right. So the way that we did it was the lowest player. So from 4 to 1, so 1 would be the lowest, and depending on who your team is, you could be playing with controllers 3 and 4. Well, 3 is going to control your offense, and the next player down, which would be 4, will control your defense in terms of play calling and your audibles. So I don't know what this guy's doing here, but he's running backwards, and that was not a good run. But what's cool is you could jump on the field and you could play with your buddies. And as you can see here, the number 1 player, because we're playing 4-player, he's controlling the offense here. He also has the ability to change the audibles because we don't want everybody to be touching the audibles at the same time. And as you're lining up, you could pick what player you want. The first player is locked onto the QB, but every other player can sit there and switch and pick another player by using the A button or B button on the Xbox, or holding down B and using your D-pad, the same way you do with your defensive play calling that you're used to. And then once the play is hiked, as you're going to see, you're locked onto that player. You can't change the player, okay? The QB can change with the ball in the air. So when you throw the ball, if you want to change to a different player while the ball's in the air, you can with the QB, but you can't with the other players. The first player will also control the kicker and the punter, all right? So just keep that in mind. And then the other team is going to control the defense. So they're going to control the play calling for the defense, the audibles for the defense, but then everybody on defense can do what they do now. They can pick a player, they can run around. When the play gets started, they can cycle through players, so you're not locked into one player. And the same goes for when you're on kick returns or kicking. During the kickoffs, you could switch to any player you want while the ball's in the air. And then when the ball lands, I think the defense is the only one that can pick a player. And so what's really cool about this is that you could just have so much fun, and it brings so much more excitement to the game. You could pick, to be a blocker. And as you can see here, the second player's choosing. So that just shows you that the second player is going to control the defense. So you guys can see, and everyone's picking their own guy. You can move around, you can line up, and you can go after the ball like they did there, but they didn't get to him. So the cool thing about this is it brings so much more like meta game to the game, because now you can control, like I said, you can try to be the blocker or try to, help out with a rush play, or you can do a screen pass and you could be, the guy catching the ball, or you can be the line that's trying to block or whatever. And it's really cool. We're having such a great time because when somebody blows a play or somebody has a good play, we all kind of, have a little bit of batter, back and forth. And, we take shots at each other, and it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun, and it really opens up this game to be enjoyed at such a different level. And we're super duper excited and thrilled to get this into your hands. One of the things that you're gonna want to know when it comes to the actual gameplay, if you're a receiver and you're catching the ball, one pro tip here to do is as soon as a quarterback throws the ball, just like in the regular game, the ball is going to go in the direction that you're running. So if you're running to the left and the quarterback throws it, well, keep running to the left because that's the way you're going to catch the ball. Okay. And so that is something that we had to kind of not learn, but almost relearn because unless you control the receiver in one player games in the previous builds, you really wouldn't know what to do. But you got to just be careful. So when you're playing with your buddies, you're going to want to tell them, hey, I'm going to do this route or that route, because if they throw it thinking you're going to go deep, but right after they throw it, you cut backwards, well, the ball's already gone. So it sounds intuitive and simple, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. The other thing is we have a new animation in here now that when you're on defense and you hold the left trigger, you can now grab, which you can stick your arms out and you can actually tackle by running into a player. Because another thing that we found out is that when you're the when you're the defense and you're trying to tackle somebody, tackling is very hard. You know, tackling is something that you would dive past a person every 2 seconds and it would be very difficult to tackle someone. So in this build, you're going to be able to tackle people and a lot easier. The only thing about pushing the L trigger and throwing your arms out and running that way into a player is you do get, they do have a better chance of dodging your block or your tackle. So keep that in mind. It's a little bit better chance. And you also slow down. So your speed slows down when you're in that mode. And you're also not able to sprint or charge up. So keep that in mind. So I went through this really fast, but those are the major highlights in the game. You can see it for yourself. Go pick up the game. Go check out the update. Thanks again to the Angry Joe Show for making this possible and, you know, bringing this to our attention. And we can't wait to see everybody playing this game and enjoying it and seeing what they, you know, what they like about it. And if there's going to be improvements to it that need to be made, we do have some things in mind that we're probably going to add at some point. But if you have any feedback, make sure you drop a line on the Discord. Go to the Steam page. Give us your feedback. We're always watching and listening to everybody. So go enjoy the update. Have a good time. Have some fun. And go play with your friends. And let's do it. All right. Take care. Peace.